hip hop, hip hop. Yeah.
Something that intrigued me was your method acting. You talked about that and how you really had to dive into the role. You talked about getting into the role of Little Walter and being that man and introducing yourself as Little Walter and just becoming that person, and how we kind of are articulated to the Joker and what's my man's name? Damn.
Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Heath Ledger with Joker, and how they kind of just became that person. Talk about that method acting and how that kind of is a different kind of level of acting, and then that role, Little Walter, and what that did to you.
Yeah, man, it's an interesting thing. So, you know, I was on a movie. I was doing a movie called Armored with Lawrence Fishburne at the time that I got. Oh, I think that's my air fryer.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, I was on a movie called Armored with Lawrence Fishburne, and he told me about the movie, and he was like, "I think you would kill this movie." They offered me the role of Muddy Waters, but I think you would kill Little Walter. And so when I got the role, you know, I was like, where do I start? You know, I asked him, I'm like, where do I start with this guy? Like, he's so complex, but there's not a lot out there for me to, like, you know, Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Mike Tyson or, you know, these legends you can go and, like, there's tons of interviews. There's tons of, you know, footage of them. So I had to build them and you know, building that character first, I had to figure out where he was from, where he was born. You know, he was born in Louisiana. He was Cajun. He spoke French. You know, he was on the bayou, born on the bayou. So that finding the region, finding the exact region and economic state he was born in. Then I found the dialect, and then it was like, what was his demons? Finding those demons, you know, and understanding what those demons do to a man. And so once I got there, I knew all of these things that I had to embody. On top of the pressure was on because I'm working with one of my heroes, Jeffrey Wright, and Adrian Brody just won an Academy Award for The Pianist. I'm like, I'm working with, you know, award-winning actors here. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I had known Beyonce. You know, the pressure was just enormous, and I didn't want to F it up. You feel me? So I just went in. I was like, I'm going in. Columbus is dead for the next 3 months. Little Walter lives. And I just dedicated myself to that. And it was, you know, part of the thing with that is doing things that I heard that he did. You know, he drank a bottle of Jameson a day. So I started drinking. You know, I was drinking Jameson. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't a drinker before that. And started drinking Jameson. You know, I never broke dialect. I mean, even when I was at the hotel, or, you know, for the entire 3 months, I was speaking like Little Walter to everybody. And, you know, so doing that, it takes 21 days to make a habit. So doing that for over 40 days, you know, by the time I wrapped, it was like I was so deep in this guy, like possessed almost by Little Walter, that it was like when it was time to let him go, I let him go, but there were still things that were still attached. And that's the danger of when you go in too deep, I think. You know, I mean, I think like with Heath, it was, you know, Jack Nicholson warned him about Joker and going to that dark side. So when you go to a dark place as an actor, you're fully committing your body, your mind, your spirit to that. There's a very dangerous thing. So, you know, Denzel said something wisely at one time. It's like everything it takes to get into a character, you need to put that same time in to get out of the character healthfully. You know what I mean? So that you can go back to being a normal human being.
Do you ever fear any going back into that again with another role, or do you have like a plan now?
Now I have a plan. Now, you know, I trust myself, my abilities to be able to get in and out. It was the first time I'd been challenged in a major way, and early in my career, right? You know what I mean? I had done, you know, DJ wasn't a big challenge, I can't say. You know what I mean? It was like, this is me. This is what I can do. You know, and Little Walter was like, I really have to go. We're trying to get trophies. I got to go in. Now I have the ability, you know, I trust my craft. I've had a lot of reps. I call them reps. Like, you know, I liken it to a quarterback who, you know, you got a quarterback that's the backup quarterback, not getting a lot of reps. He gets in the game. He might throw a few picks, you know, but once he becomes the starter, he's getting all those reps in practice. He gets on the field. He's more comfortable with the offense, and less mistakes, less turnovers. And that's the same thing I've applied to me as an actor. Is like, you know, having those 3 seasons on Scandal and being able to, you know, just work on my craft and tune my instrument in ways that it wasn't all the way that tuned mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, now I'm much better much better equipped to go into the certain places and find my way back healthfully with my right mind.
Word. You know, we've never seen you on screen disrespecting black. And what I mean by that is there's always been a sense of pride, even though you may have said it, but Stomp the Yard, This Christmas, Scandal, Cadillac Records, it's always been like pride, even though you don't necessarily have to say it. Do you kind of keep that in mind when you pick certain roles in Hollywood, pick certain roles in movies, or even when you kind of articulate yourself on screen and bringing a little bit of Columbus Short out as well? Like, is that like something that you hold and kind of keep in mind?
Absolutely. That's interesting that you said that, because look, Black people are interesting because we speak two languages, even if we, I'm not talking about Spanish and English. I'm talking about we have our business dialect, right? How we talk to the business, the CEO, and then we have how we talk to our family, how we talk to our homies, how we talk to our friends. Even when we're playing, like when I was playing Harrison, I still wanted to have that strength of a Black man, and the strength of a Black man and the love for the Black woman, and Carrie, having her back no matter what, showing those kind of things. Same thing in this Christmas, an Armor there, but I wanted to represent always. There's a little bit of hood in me. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of hood in me, but I'm an educated man from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So that has always kind of been the juxtaposition in everything that I bring to the screen. But the crazy part is, in that first front part of my career, I didn't realize that I was a leader. I didn't realize I was, that I had to be an example. I don't know if that makes sense, because I was working. I was just on the grind. Not, people see my movies. I kept my personal life private. And then when things kind of fell apart, you see like, dang, Columbus, man, we was rooting for you, dog. Like, you don't hear people rooting for you because you working. Man, they hated to see the fall, and it was kind of like letting down, feeling that I let down my people, let down young Black men, young Black women, my fan base. It really put me in a really different headspace about the responsibility of being a star, of being there. I always used to shy away from saying star or celebrity or, but it's the facts. And once you are that, especially now thinking back on, Martin Luther King and what he was doing, he was an actual leader. We're in a leaderless society now, but we're not in a leaderless society. All the people that are in the forefront, athletes, musicians, actors, it's our responsibility to help guide those that are looking at us and be an example, not be in jail, not be in trouble, carrying ourselves and conducting ourselves like a leader should. And so, that's really where my mindset is now, as opposed to where it was then.
Appreciate that. Has there been ever a time where, you got a role and you say, you know what, I'm not going to do that because this is going to compromise my moral fabric? Can you tell us about a time, if you would?
Yeah. So there was, I was always been hard pressed. Like, I'm never going to wear a dress. You know what I mean? I was never going to do that. I just felt like it's not me. And some actors, they're like that are straight are open to that. Some actors are open to playing, gay roles. I'm not gay, and I love everybody, LGBTQ.
Right.
Love. But I just didn't feel like I could honestly commit to that for my own self, right? That's not something I wanted to do. Also, I got offered this movie called Legion. I think Tyrese ended up doing it. And I read the script. The president was like, Columbus, I need an answer by tonight. And I'm like, read the script, and I'm like, man, the character was like blaspheming against God. And it just bothered me. And I told him I can't do it. And he said, why? And I remember I didn't want to tell him the real reason why. And I was uncomfortable. And then finally I just broke down and I sent him a two paragraph email. And I'm like, it's blaspheming against God. I can't, even though we're acting, I can't do it. And he was very mad at me about that. But, I stuck to my guns on that. And that was like the one role I really remember that I had, morally, I just couldn't do it.
If you could wrap up your whole career as far as being a Black man in Hollywood, what would be your experience thus far?
Great highs, and extreme lows. I've been uncompromising behind the scenes. I've never wanted to compromise my principles or my beliefs to get anywhere. I never had to do anything to get a job or to, do anything compromising to myself, right? Or morally compromising just to get ahead. I've been hard pressed about that. And I think at times that has stifled me. That held me back. I could have gone on easy roads. I could have made choices that would have put me in positions to be the biggest movie star on the planet. But I chose the long road. And I think, it's hurt me, but it made me strong. And, I've survived the game. So I think if you sum up my career, I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.